So many of you are looking for fulfillment where it can never be found. You are looking for fulfillment in things, possessions, money, recognition. You're looking for fulfillment in another person, praise from a parent, love from another person, a well done from the world. But here's the problem. You can never find it outside of you. It can only be found within you. All the happiness and joy you could ever hope for and more, it is within you now.
The truth is, we don't need all those other things to complete our life. We don't need anything outside ourselves to be happy right now. Think back to a time in your life you didn't have those things you seek, but were still happy. Perhaps when you were a child, perhaps not too long ago. The reason why you were happy without those things is down to what you chose to focus on. Your focus wasn't on what was not there. It was on what was there, and happiness is always there if you choose to focus on finding it. We tend to always look for happiness outside ourselves, but we all know that it doesn't come from there. Whatever we perceive as reality becomes our reality. If you listen to the world and the opinions of others, you may well come to believe that happiness is only gained once you make money or get that nice car, that great house. Why do we want those things anyway? Why do we want the car, the house, the money, that perfect person? All of it, without exception, we want because we believe getting it will make us better. We believe it will make us feel better, make us feel happier.
Don't get dragged into the expectations of society. You don't need this and that to be happy and complete. What you need is always within you. It never goes away. You are complete right now.
Look within you. Feel the truth that is. You can decide to be happy right now.
Find something to be grateful for. Choose to lift others up. Give attention rather than seek it. Find your life's purpose and set goals that light the spark within you. Believe in yourself. Believe you deserve it all. Believe your life has meaning. There is nothing you cannot accomplish when you are free from the burden of looking for things outside of yourself to fulfill you.
Just know you have the answers. Trust your intuition. Trust everything will be okay in the end. Everything will be great in the end. Everything will be magical in the end. It's all within you. It's called belief. It's called faith. Faith in yourself. Belief in yourself.
Total believer. Yeah, I believe in manifestation. I believe in putting a rocket of desire out into the universe, and you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it, and that's the key. Is like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You're facing the wrong way. You're facing away from it. You have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
It's our intention. Our intention is everything. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention.
I think it's really a marvelous thing, that visualization thing you did. Do y'all read about this or hear this? That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is. And I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85, yeah.
And I had nothing at that time, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
So didn't you write yourself a check? I heard that you did. Is that true?
I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet, and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff, but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber.
An insane belief in my own ability to manifest things. That I think it's ultimately complete sanity. But I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life. You already know who you are. And that peace that we're after lies somewhere beyond personality. Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory. You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world. You will only ever have two choices, love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. I just want to be myself. If I lose a few fringe people who can't deal with the fact that there's other forces in the world, that's okay with me.
I wish I didn't take life so seriously. I wish I didn't take life so seriously. I wish I didn't take life so seriously. I wish I lived more. I wish I gave more happiness to my family. I wish I knew how precious life was, how fleeting, how special, and at the same time fragile and insignificant. I wish I didn't give up on my dreams so easy. One day, life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. When we look back on our life, in our last breaths, we will all wonder, did my life mean anything? Did my life mean anything to this world? Was I loved? Did I have an impact on anyone else's life? Did I matter? We won't be worried about our bills. We won't be worried about our hair. We certainly won't care about our favorite TV show. We won't spare a second thought of others' opinions and judgments. Did I matter? Before you reach that last breath, today might be the time to make a change. Make your life matter. One day, it will be over. There will be 2 dates, either side of a dash. Make sure that dash is not empty. Make sure it is full of life, full of living. Oscar Wilde once said, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all." And he was right. Don't live like everyone else. Existing. Be extraordinary. Live every moment with passion and wonder. Don't take anything or anyone for granted. What is important to you? What dreams do you have? Go get them. What are you waiting for? You only have one shot. If you miss the target, at least you will live with pride, knowing you have no regrets. Who do you love? Who has loved you? Tell them. Tell them now. You never know when it will be your last chance. Don't take this magical thing called life for granted. Keep your head when everyone else is losing theirs. Trust yourself when everyone else doubts you. Master your dreams when all others give up on theirs. Be the captain when everyone else is content being the crew. Be the lion when all others are playing sheep. Be the leader when all others are following. Live each day as if it may be your last on earth. It may be. Leave your legacy.
Now, to most people, the present moment almost doesn't exist, because what they're really interested in is the next moment or the one after that. So they live always towards the future. They live towards the next moment. And unconsciously, they regard the next moment, the next point in the future that they need to get to, as more important than this moment. Not realizing that the future moment that they so desperately want to get to, wanting to get it out of the way as quickly as possible, needing to get to the end point, on a small scale, on a large scale. And so they don't recognize that the future has no existence except as a thought form. So when you always live towards the future, you live your life trapped in a conceptual reality of thought forms, which assumes a greater significance for you than the immediate reality of life, which is always now. Because your life consists entirely of the present moment. If you truly realize the significance of that statement, your entire life consists of the present moment. Your life is never not this moment. Even when you remember the past, you can only remember it now. And when you think about the future, You can only think about it now. But people live as if the present moment were an obstacle that they need to overcome in order to get to some better point, which never arrives. So that's a mad way to live, and it makes living hard. It makes living into an effort. That alignment with where you are right now, to be totally where you are and whatever you are doing, even if it doesn't look like the life purpose that you want for the next 30 years, whatever you are doing now, to be total in doing it, and no matter what it is, to be true to life by being true to this moment.
There is always only this one step, and so you give it your fullest attention. This doesn't mean that you don't know where you're going. It just means that the step that you're taking right now is primary. The destination is secondary. And what you encounter at your destination once you get there depends on the quality of this one step. Whatever you're doing in any given moment, if you do it your best, it leads you to the next best moment. So you don't have to worry about what's the next moment coming if you only do your best in this moment.
That's right, because when the next moment comes, it comes as this moment.
Right.
You never experience the future as the future. You experience the future when it comes as the now, because that's all there is.
It's all there ever is.
And that's an amazing realization for people to realize life is always just this. It's always the now.
And what happens is most people are living their lives as though the destination, the end, the end is what it's all about.
Yes, as if the end were more important than
the means.
The means. And so the means and the end, however, are one.
Right.
And that means you actually, you determine what kind of future you're going to experience by deciding to be totally aligned with the present moment.
Life is not about proving anyone wrong. Life is about proving yourself right. Life is not about competing against others, but life is about competing against yourself to make sure you are better than your previous self, better than you were yesterday, to make sure you are growing every day, developing, learning, experiencing. Life is not about being perfect. It is about being happy, not all the time, but every time you can. Life isn't about being right. It's about being kind. When you have a choice to be right or to be kind, choose kindness. Choose love. Life is not about noticing the negatives. It's about creating such huge positives, the negatives pale in comparison. Life is not about you. It's about everyone and everything. We are all connected and all sharing challenges and struggles. Be kind. Lift others up. Give freely without expecting anything in return, and the world will return happiness and abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Life isn't all about money. You can't take it with you, so don't stress about it. This doesn't mean you don't deserve it or shouldn't have it. You can create unlimited abundance and use that to do good for others and yourself, and you do deserve it. Just don't stress about it. Money is great, but only when used with positive intentions. Life isn't about comparing yourself to others. Let everyone else be exactly as they are, while you focus on being the best you. Your life is not defined by circumstances. Your life is not defined by what does or does not happen to you. It is defined by how you react to what happens to you, how you choose to react to the circumstances and events that arrive in your life. It's helpful to remember, challenges are just tests. Hard times are test and character builders. Never lose your spirit, because it is in our greatest challenges that our greatest strength is formed. That is when our character shines, right after the storm. What's really important is who you become through all of life's challenges. What you make and accumulate will never be a match for who you are and how much happiness you bring to this world. Don't ever forget that. You are a miracle. This world is a blessing. Life is a miracle. Life is really what you make it. Live every day like you are blessed. Live every day as if you are grateful to simply be alive. Be happy, no matter what happens, and life will be the amazing adventure it was meant to be. Your purpose and my wish for you is simple: to be happy. To find happiness, no matter what life throws at you.
Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. I think for myself, and I know many of you, you think forgiving means accepting what has happened to you. Well, it is accepting that it has happened to you. Not accepting that it was okay for it to happen. It is accepting that it has happened, and now what do I do about it? Forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on, hoping, wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. Giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when I got that, I think it took me to the next level of being a better person, because I don't hold grudges for anything or any situation, and neither should you. It's letting go so that the past does not hold you prisoner, does not hold you hostage.
Yes, that's the story of two monks on a pilgrimage, and they come across, in a village, they come across a young 17-year-old girl with a long kimono, trying to cross a very muddy road, but she's not daring to step into the mud. So one monk picks her up, carries her across the road through the mud, puts her down, and so the monks walk on in silence for another 4 or 5 hours, just practicing noble silence. And then after 4 or 5 hours, they're getting close to their destination. One monk says to the monk who had picked up the girl, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't have done that, because the monks are not supposed even to touch women. So you shouldn't have picked up that girl. You're not supposed to do that." So the other monk says, "Oh, are you still carrying that girl? I put her down hours ago." So the other monk was still carrying the girl, the event, in his head.
4 hours
and
later.
for 4 hours he was walking with this burden.
Yes, right.
And that shows the reluctance of the human mind to let go of the past.
I believe in miracles. I believe I am destined for greatness. I believe I deserve it all. I believe in miracles. I believe today will be the greatest day of my life. I believe today will be magical. I believe in kindness. I believe great people will come into my life. I believe miracles are on the way. I believe in myself. I believe. I believe there is nothing I cannot be, nothing I cannot do, nothing I cannot have. I don't believe in limitations. I believe I am limitless. I don't believe in lack. I believe in the power of my thoughts and beliefs. I don't believe in bad vibes. I believe in good vibes. I don't believe in luck. I believe luck comes after you have done the work and you let the universe deliver the order. I believe, and that is why I achieve. I believe, and therefore anything is possible.
If you are unsure of what your purpose is, don't worry. The worst thing you can do is get yourself worried that you haven't found it yet. Or say something like, I have no purpose in life. It will never be absolutely essential you have a great, big, grand purpose. What is essential is that you commit to working on yourself every single day, that you become obsessed with self-development, obsessed with growing your mindset, feeding your mind with positive thoughts every day, feeding your mind with successful thoughts, learning more, anything that is going to push your mind to evolve to the next level. It will come to you if you keep working on yourself. And by the way, your purpose will most likely change over time because we should always be growing and evolving. I like to think of self-development always like fitness. If you want to be fit and strong, what do you need to do? You need to commit to working out every single day. Otherwise, you cannot grow stronger. If you stop working out, what happens? You become weaker. The same is true for your mental strength. The more you read, the more you learn. The more you learn from the truly successful, the stronger your mind will become, and the more successful you will become. Like fitness though, if you stop working on yourself, your mind will grow weaker. You must make a commitment that nothing is more important than your self-development, because a stronger you is a better you, and a better you is better for everyone around you. Never stop working on yourself. It is a daily process, a journey, not a destination. Everyone has a purpose, and that purpose is simply to be happy. It's what everyone is chasing. That guy that wants to be a millionaire, all he really wants is the happiness he thinks the money will bring. That girl that wants the perfect relationship, what she really wants is the happiness she believes it will bring. Everyone is chasing material things, but no one is making a commitment to just stop and make happiness a priority. Make it a priority to always be searching for the best in life. If this means eliminating bad habits, Do it now. What is more important? So now you know your purpose. Get out there and work on yourself. Work on your happiness. Make it a priority that your happiness is more important than anything. Live each moment as if it's your last. Be lighthearted. Don't take life too seriously, but make the most of it while you are here. Be you and never apologize for it.
I'm a big believer that some of the most important, worthwhile lessons in life are often the most simple, the most overlooked. One of my greatest realizations is that any situation is far less important than your interpretation of it. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that anything in life is simply a product of the meaning that we give it. As Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is extremely significant because it unlocks any door in the world. To be able to have that perspective, that understanding that you are the one in control. Knowing that will undoubtedly take you places. The question, of course, is what are you doing about it, right? It's no secret that if you look at things with a negative lens, they're going to appear negative. If you look at life as this giant tragedy and you're always the helpless victim, guess what? You'll remain that way. You're essentially enabling a self-fulfilling prophecy. We are who we believe we are. The world around us exists as we allow ourselves to see it. Words like difficult, impossible, they have no meaning. They don't even exist until we give them life. Think about it. We are creating negativity. Constructing barriers that have absolutely no reason to be up. I like to simplify this equation because to me, it's about having a goal and achieving it. That's it. Right? You're at point A and you want to get to point B. And there are really two options. You can map out your path and make it happen, or you can create reasons that it's not possible, that you can't do it, that success isn't for you. Right? Starting with the little things like waking up early or changing, eating habits. We look at what's in front of us and we ask why. We don't ask why not. And here's my take. If human beings got a man on the moon, you can come up with a strategy to wake up early without hitting a snooze button. It is that simple. And this applies all the way up the ladder to larger things, to running a marathon, getting a promotion, on and on and on, getting out of a particular situation. See yourself as someone who wins, who succeeds. Leave all that other baggage behind you. It helps no one. They say some of life's greatest accomplishments were achieved by people who didn't know they were once considered impossible. They had a target and they hit it. Before you even think about your specifics, you have to know that a solution is out there, that it exists. It's just a matter of whether you will make it happen. And that's where it's so important to set yourself up to succeed, to brush the negativity aside and to analyze what's in front of you with the lens of someone who can and will get the job done. Surround yourself with positive people. Quit associating with things that tell you anything but yes. Life is hard enough as it is, right? You don't need additional hurdles. It's about you and that goal, you and your objectives. Not can you, but how will you? How will you get to your final destination?
Well, I always like to use a metaphor of an orange. I love the orange. An orange is a simple metaphor. You take this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it. And you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you squeeze it, will apple juice come out. There's no mistakes. You'll never get grapefruit juice out of this thing, ever. The only thing you'll ever get out of it is orange juice. And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange, as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? And I asked that question up in Toronto one time. This little girl sitting right in the front row. She said, that's dumb. She said, that's what's inside. It has to come out. I said, well, that's the answer. You are really smart. And she smiled. She thought that was great. But that's the truth. The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. Somebody does something or says something to you that you feel hurt by. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is, that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it.
But aren't there ever times, because I'm sure a lot of this audience feels, and those of you who are at home feels, that there are times when people do things to you. People do things to you when you are just the victim. Right?
No.
No.
Not right.
No.
People do things to you, of
Yeah.
course. It happens all the time. But what happens to you in your life is you live your life inside.
Yeah.
And it isn't what people do to you, it's how you react to what people do to you that makes the difference between you being a fully functioning person or a victim. That's the way it is in life. It's like when bad things happen out there, you can either get a lesson from it. There are no accidents to me in a perfect universe. There are only lessons. Everything that happens is a lesson, and you either learn from it or you become a victim of it.
You can't give away what you don't have. Now, it sounds ridiculous, okay? But it's more than what meets the ear as you hear this. You can't give away what you don't have. People who are not good at giving away love can't give away love because they don't have it to give away. If I want to give you a dozen oranges, I can't give you those dozen oranges unless I go out and pick up 12 oranges someplace. Otherwise, all it is just empty rhetoric. And the same thing is true of virtually everything in your life. You can't give away love for others if you don't have love in here to give away. If what you have in here is contempt, if what you have in here is anger, if what you have in here is fear, then these are the things you're going to be giving away in your life.
When you get grateful for what you have right now, you will soon have more to be grateful for. And it's so true. When you send out those feelings of gratitude, what happens? You become instantaneously happy in this moment. When you're grateful and happy with life as it stands today, so many more things will flow into your life to be happy and grateful for. And the reverse is also true. If you feel like there's nothing to be grateful for, what are you focused on? You're focused on everything you don't want. You're focused on everything you don't have. And what do you then think you will attract into your experience? Exactly, more of what you don't want. Make it your mission to sit down every day and become grateful. Get grateful for the two gifts you have called eyes. Many aren't so lucky. Get grateful for the ears that can hear this music. Get grateful for the person in your life that's made a difference. Get grateful for your tough times because they help develop your strength and spirit. Get grateful for your life. There is so much to be grateful for. There's something to be said about being appreciative and grateful. You know, whether you're thanking God or life, or whether you're looking to a person in your world and just saying thank you, there's something really special about that. I mean, there's something very real about moments where you can just be by yourself and look at your life and just say thank you. You know, thank you for this gift. Thank you for this ride that I'm on. Thank you for this journey. And a lot of people go through their life without experiencing the beauty of these moments. Your life, although perhaps filled with many imperfections, is still an experience. It's an experience that people in their final moments would do anything just to grasp onto for a little while longer. Can you imagine, as you hear this, there are people who are having their final breaths, taking their final breaths on this planet, looking back at their lives and wishing they could have done more. Meanwhile, we have this experience. We're alive, we're breathing air, our hearts are pumping, our brain is doing billions of operations per second just to keep the game going for us. We can't find reasons to be grateful for that. We can't, as human beings, be appreciative for that. There is an entire spectrum of life you are missing out on when you don't take moments to just feel. Just feel! Just create moments of gratitude within yourself, just for the sake of being appreciative, for the sake of being alive. That alone will change your life. That will make you human again. That will disconnect you a little from this game of consumerism and this dog-eat-dog world we've allegedly created. That will disconnect you from the insanity of this society, and it will reconnect you with something greater than yourself. And I don't care what you call it. Call it God, call it the universe, call it life or magic. When you begin to be appreciative for life, there is a certain power that will bring you even more reasons to be appreciative. It's one of life's greatest paradoxes. When you're in a state of needing this and needing that, it doesn't matter how much you acquire, you'll never have enough. When you can have the courage to be grateful for what you already have, life will bless you with even more. You know, you can decide in this moment to give it up. Give up the complaining, give up the blaming and the accusing, give up the gossiping and the whining, and instead realize you're on an incredible journey and fall in love with every second of it. That's when you'll truly come to life.
Balance. That's what we all need. What most seek and some argue against. Not just work-life balance. I mean being and doing balance. Balance between making it happen and letting it happen. Some argue you must work hard and take action to achieve anything in life. And they are right in a way. Action is needed, and hard work does have its place if you wish to succeed in accomplishing things in this world. However, the sacrifice should never be your life quality, your presence, your happiness. Overworking leads to anxieties and stress, which usually lead to poor decision making. Quality work is achieved when you are present, when you love what you do. You can still work hard, but your hard work should come from a state of wanting to do the work, not from having to do it because you have so much on your plate. Each action you perform should be conscious and present. If you have too much on your plate, you are always thinking about another task while performing the current one. Nothing is going to be done to the best of your ability. It is far better to complete one job fully, complete and perfectly, than 100 unfinished and incomplete. In every moment, we should ask ourselves, what is really important? What is really important today? Is it necessary I rush out of the house to get to work? Must I be in the office in my head while my kids are talking to me, unconsciously ignoring them completely? What if I lost my loved ones today? Can I honestly say I was committed and present to those that really matter to me? One of the most powerful principles in maintaining life perspective is to start the day picturing yourself at your own funeral. Ask yourself, if I died today, did I live what truly mattered every day? Did I live how I wanted to live? Or was I, like most, just obsessed with getting things done? Can I do better, starting right now? Picturing yourself at your funeral is powerful because it helps you understand that material things and chasing the big dollars isn't really that important. You can't take money with you. You can't take fancy cars with you. And your loved ones will never care about what you did in the office. They will only care about who you were and how you made them feel. This doesn't mean you go out and quit your job and live in a cave with your family. You can still thrive in business, and you can still make huge sums of money. The point here is to always be mindful of what is the most important in your life. There will always be things that need to get done, and always things that remain undone. They are not more important than your happiness now. They are not more important than this moment. They are not more important than those you love. Just ask anyone that has lost a loved one suddenly. Don't wait till it's too late to start living. Don't wait till it's too late to understand what's really important in your life. Don't wait till it's too late to be happy. Be lighthearted. Be joyful. Don't take life too seriously. It is meant to be enjoyed, no matter what you are doing. For many, life has become a competition of being better or having more than the neighbors. Keeping up with the Joneses is how the majority of the Western world lives. If we have less materially speaking, we feel like less of a human. If we have more, our egos explode. This is not what life is about, people. If you are chasing things, you will never be happy and always be chasing. Then you will die and no one will care because your soul died long ago. There is nothing wrong with money or being extremely wealthy. Money is great when placed in the right hands. There are so many great people on earth who do great things with their wealth. We are talking here about those who are obsessed with money, obsessed with material things and being better than their friends and their neighbors. We're talking about those who measure one's success by one's possessions. If you think money is the most important thing on earth, try counting your money while holding your breath. Money is not the answer. Living fully now is the answer. Love is the answer. Kindness is the answer. Compassion is the answer. Happiness is the answer.
An extraordinary life is life on your terms, and there's two parts. Part one to have an extraordinary life is mastering the skill of the science of achievement. How do I take what I envision and make it real? And how do I do that quicker, faster, better, easier? But I would submit to you that having done this for 38 years with, 50 million people at this stage, I can tell you that the science of achievement, there are a lot of people that are damn good at that, and they still don't have an extraordinary life. They have an extraordinary life. You see it as extraordinary, but I get the phone call from the multi-billionaire who tells me he wants to do this thing on his business, but what he really find out is he's miserable as hell, and he's hoping somehow I'm gonna rub off on him on that side too. And so I give him what he asked for, the change in his business, but I also give him what he needs, which is the change inside of him. So the second skill is the art of fulfillment. If you want an extraordinary life, you can't just achieve, you gotta be fulfilled. As simplistic as that sounds, but it's an art. It's not a science. It's a science to making money, come on. Any age, any color, any background, any gender, if you do these things, you'll have an abundance of money. You do these things, you're gonna have too much month at the end of the money. You're gonna have financial stress, right? Body. Everyone's biochemically different, but you and I both know there's fundamental rules, laws. There's a science to the body. You violate that science, you're gonna have dis-ease, you're gonna have low energy. You align with that, you're gonna have an abundance of energy. It's gonna affect everything in your life. It's a science. Fulfillment's not like that. Fulfillment is as different as our human beings. You wanna know what God or the universe likes? Look at the jungle, look at the forest. Right. It's diverse, right? So most people think, well, I wanna get that, because they've been modeling somebody else, and that might work on how to achieve something. It'll never work for what will fulfill you. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, because if you go at something and you fail and you're an achiever, you don't fail, you go, I learned something, I'll just try something else. Right. I'm gonna still get there. But when you succeed and you're not happy, you're technically screwed. So a perfect example of this, I mentioned in the seminar you were there because it hit me about a year and a month ago, we lost what I consider a national treasure, Robin Williams. And I asked people, how many of you love Robin Williams? Everybody raising their hand all around the world, right? He made people laugh, people were touched by him. So how good was he at the science of achievement? I mean, he wanted to be a great comedian and make the whole world laugh, he did. He wanted to have his own TV show, he did. He wanted the #1 show, he did it. He wanted to make movies, he did. He wanted to have an Academy Award for not being funny, dramatic, and he did it, right? He did it, yeah. He said he wanted a beautiful family. He achieved everything, and he hung himself. That's crazy. And I know recently someone's saying, well, he had dementia, he had drug abuse, he had alcohol abuse most of his life because he made everybody happy but whom? Himself. That's the ultimate failure. So if I had no other message to offer your viewers, and you let me give it to them right now, I'll tell you what I believe. I believe our lives are controlled by one force, decisions. I certainly believe in force greater than myself, call it God if you will, grace, whatever you want to call it, the universe. But I also believe it gives us choices. And the decisions we make control us much more than the conditions we meet. It's not the conditions, it's your decisions. Decisions of what to believe, decisions of what to do, decisions of what to give. I say to people, think about, look back 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, and think of a decision you made. That if you would have made a different decision, you'd have a totally different life today. Better or worse, I don't know, but totally different. The most important decision you can make above any on the face of the earth is deciding that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what happens, you're gonna live in a beautiful state. And what the hell does that mean? It means that you're not gonna suffer. It means a beautiful state is that you're gonna be happy, but that's only one. Or you're gonna feel creative, or you're gonna be passionate, or you're gonna be in awe of something, or you're gonna feel love. Any state that's a beautiful state is really the core essence of who you are without fear, right? People that have everything, by your point of view, most people's point of view, they have the fame and they have the love and millions of people love them and they have great economics, financial freedom, and they have homes and they have the fashion, they have everything, they're the shit. I can't tell you how many of them are miserable. The majority are miserable. I'm not bullshitting. I'm the one who gets the phone call from the vast majority. When I say miserable, they're so used to it, some of them don't even realize they're miserable, but most do. They get in a place where it's like, how do I keep this up? How do I keep outdoing myself? How do I built these 32 companies, how to keep all 32 going and make them all grow every single year. And that's not how life is, right? And then they worry about what will people think, what will they do? So the decision to say, I am not gonna suffer, that if suffering arises, pain's one thing, suffering's another. And the way you suffer is you focus on yourself. Suffering comes when we obsess about ourselves, what we're getting or not getting, what we should have done, what others should have done for us. It's the me game. Right. How's this gonna happen? Will this come together? Suffering could be worry, it could be anger, it could be frustration. It's anything that takes you out of a beautiful state. And here's what people don't get. You can end suffering by stop focusing on yourself and focus on something you wanna serve greater than yourself. Your children, your wife, your mission, your life. You can get out of it in an instant because the nature of the human mind is to constantly compare things. Your mind, your brain is a 2 million year old device, and it is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to make you survive, and that's why it's always looking for what's wrong. It has to be what's wrong, a saber-toothed tiger, so I can protect myself. Now people are worried about what people think about them, or do they have enough money when 2/3 of the planet lives on $2 a day, and you're making $38,000, you're rich. The poorest of the poor in our country are considered rich. I'm not saying they should stay that way, but you can only build on success. And so my view is, if you're watching, if you're listening to this, my goal would have you consider something. Life is short. We don't know how short it's gonna be. But if you only had a week to live, I bet you wouldn't allow yourself to suffer over a little crap that makes you crazy normally. I think you would probably spend time with those you love, you would do what you love, you'd take awe in a sunset, you'd smell the air, you would take in everything in those final moments that you possibly do. So my thing is, why wait? Right? Why wait? Why not just decide that if I start to suffer, I know the solution, because suffering is me obsessing about me. You might say, it's not me, I'm worried about my kids because they're not doing well. No, you're worried that you haven't done enough for your kids. It's about you still, right?
Yes.
You know, you're worried about what was done or what you should have done or what shouldn't have done. And you can end that in an instant by becoming aware of it and saying, I have made the most important decision of all. I'm gonna live in a beautiful state. Because here's what's gonna happen. Anybody watching, you may lose a family member, you probably will. Somebody may get cancer. Your business the government might change the rules. They might change things radically and you can't even do anything about it. You might go bankrupt. You might get divorced. I'm not saying anybody will, but no one knows what's gonna really happen in your life. Life's full of uncertainty, but here's what you can know. You can decide no matter what happens, you could have a great time. If somebody like Viktor Frankl can be locked up in Auschwitz and come out of that and experience finding joy in the middle of Auschwitz, then human beings have a capacity they've undersold themselves on. We think that the outside world determines how we feel. If people have to behave a certain way, if your husband or your wife or your kids or your coworkers or whoever, your boss, has to behave a certain way for you to be happy, and if they don't, you're unhappy, then you're always gonna be unhappy, because the more people around you, the more they're gonna change that, because they're all human, right? And if you have to be a certain way to be happy, you're gonna violate it too. So my invitation is, as great as it is to achieve, more important to enjoy. And if you can enjoy every moment in that state, when you're feeling loving and playful and passionate and curious and awe, you treat other people 100 times better than when you're feeling frustrated, pissed off, overwhelmed, worried, stressed, or feeling sorry for yourself. You're gonna be a better parent, you're gonna be a better lover, you're gonna be a better business person, you're gonna have a better life. So my soliloquy is, decide. Decide today and actually say, what if I cut it off? What if I said, I'm not willing to settle and I'm just gonna live in a beautiful state? Doesn't mean you won't feel bad, it doesn't mean you won't stay there. You instantly change. That's doable. And I'm on a mission to help people end suffering. But I really do believe that people have got to look at their life and say, as much as I want great strategy, I need a great philosophy of my life that's gonna make me fulfilled. If you're fulfilled, it's still worthwhile. And you can find a way to succeed eventually. But what the hell is success? It's hitting an expectation. And I always tell people, man, trade your expectations for appreciation, and it's a whole new world instantly. If you can appreciate this moment, if you can't find ecstasy in this moment, in a conversation with a friend, and looking in your wife's eyes, being with your children, going on a run, if you can't find ecstasy now, I'm here to tell you, more money, more people, more love, more business, more anything is not gonna give you more ecstasy. If you can't do it here now, you're not gonna do it there when you got more. So why not do it now and have a rich life right now? I tell people, money, that's one thing. Like having financial abundance, there's skills, that's a science. But wealth, it's a decision. It's like, you can be wealthy right now. I live in Fiji a good portion of the time. There are these villagers there. They're the richest people I know. They're happy, they laugh, they love, they don't give a damn about the economics. Other people say they're poor, When I first went there, I was trying to do things for them. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm so happy. Wealthy people come over from the United States and they go travel around and try to figure out what to do, and they're going to spend 9 years to do this and this and this so they can finally sit down and be happy. And the Fijian guy goes, why don't you sit on the beach right now, dude, and experience it? Why spend the 9 years? Why not have it now? That's my invitation.
When you're young, before the world swallows you up with that day-to-day grind, you have that belief, that real knowing that you can do anything, that there are no limitations. When they ask you what you want to be when you grow up, you say something to them that may seem crazy or unrealistic. Then you do grow up, and the world teaches you to play it safe. The world teaches you that you are limited. Perhaps you should go to a university and take that $50K a year job. Perhaps it's best if you follow the lead of all the others before you, struggling to pay the bills, living with that hole in your soul, knowing you didn't take a risk on what you really wanted in life. When you begin to learn the great secret, you will soon know that there are no limits. It's unlimited what the universe can bring when you understand the great secret that thoughts become things. If you believe that, you can achieve that. Period. When you desire it so badly, when you feel your soul pull toward it, when you are willing to do whatever it takes to bring it to life, it must come to life. It's a universal law. Thoughts become things. But when we say thoughts, what we really mean is beliefs become things. Feelings become things. Every great human of the past knew this great truth. You know it in your heart too. It may be clouded by the limited beliefs projected on you over the years, but you do know this to be true. You can feel it in your heart when you think about your dream life. Plant your seeds, then trust that they will grow. Have faith, they will blossom. You are connected to the universe. We are all connected. We are all one. There is nothing, no event, no thing in this universe that isn't connected in some way. The world is a canvas for your imagination. You are the artist. There are no rules. Get to work. If you can imagine it in your mind, you can experience it in your reality. Don't forget, you will always attract what you believe you deserve. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you are unworthy of abundance. We are all worthy of abundance in all its forms. And when we have more, we can give more. Every day, every moment is a new opportunity to turn your life around, to create some miracles. Look around you. There are miracles all around. Miracle creations, created by humans, created by the universe. Be grateful for what you have. There is nothing you cannot have. There are no limitations. I'm sorry you were brought up in a world where they told you to play it safe, where you were told there are limits to what you can achieve, that you will need this and that before you can take this little thing. Well, I am here today to tell you to throw that in the garbage. Read about any great human from the past. They all knew the great secret. Thoughts become things. Beliefs become things. Trust me when I say you are capable of anything imaginable.
Why do you make me suffer? Make me wait? Hold me back from being great? Why the pain? Why the failures? Why the struggle? Why all the pain? It's not what I asked for. Don't want to play the game?
I said I'll open the door. I didn't say I'll walk you through it. You must do your bit. You must learn a little bit, suffer a little bit, grow a little bit, so you know the contrast. You asked for patience, so I gave you lineups. I made you wait, because that's how you grow. That's how you know. Know what you want, know the difference. You asked for love. I gave you a broken heart, so you know the difference between real and fake, between average and great. I can open the door, I can guide you through, but you must walk through. You must keep your eyes open, see the message, see the cues, know what you must do. You must play your part. Don't look up, look within. Within yourself, that's where I am. I will always guide you. Open your ears, open your heart. Don't get lost in human directions. Your intuition is the guide, the real journey, the best ride.
I don't think you determine what your purpose is. I think you discover what your purpose is. There's a difference. Determining indicates deciding. And I don't think you decide. I think if you go about it the right way, you discover it. Like there's some people that should be painting all day. They're great artists. I think Michelangelo was obviously a great artist, a great sculptor. I mean, that was his purpose. Well, I believe my purpose is doing what I'm doing. Your purpose is why you get out of bed in the morning. Do you know why you get up? Well, most people say, well, if they're going to work, well, that'd be a good reason to stay in bed. You know, you say, well, everybody's doing it. That'd be another reason to stay in bed. If you're ever doing what everybody's doing, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Your purpose is your reason for living. What you want to do is sit down and maybe take a pen and a pad and then ask yourself, what do I really love doing? Now, you may have to spend a while at this. You might get up an hour early every morning and go sit under a tree somewhere if you're in a nice climate, or pick a favorite chair, someplace where you're not going to be disturbed, and totally relax and say, if I could spend my life doing something, what do I really love doing? Now, since you don't ask yourself that question every day, it might take a while for this answer to come to the surface. But it comes to your consciousness. And it may take a while. You may have to do this every morning for 3 months. But it would be well invested, the time.
Success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal and they're moving towards it, they're successful. Most people think that you're successful if you have a lot of money. Quite often you have a lot of money if you're successful, but it isn't. I wouldn't say Mother Teresa has a lot of money.
Okay.
No, but she's a pretty successful lady. So it's...
okay, so that barrier to success...
Well, there's a couple of them.
Okay.
I think there's two barriers. One is our conditioning. The conditioning that takes place in our subconscious mind from the time we're infants. All we can do is act and talk like the people around us. That's why we learn the language we learn. If there was 10 languages spoken in our home, we'd learn 10 languages without any trouble. There's usually one, and that's the only one we ever learn. And we grow older and we think, oh, I couldn't learn another language. We could learn 100 if we wanted to. You can do anything. But I think we're conditioned. We have real strong conditioning, usually with not some very good ideas. And then that's the barrier that's inside us. The one that's outside of us is our environment. We have a tendency to act like everybody around us. And if you think about this, it does make a lot of sense. Because if you study statistics, 95% of the people live their entire life and never live the way they want to live. Do you know that 95% of the population in this country, let's say in North America, the richest continent in the history of the world, they'll work productively, let's say for 40 of their 65 years, and they'll end up with hardly any money. Well, there's got to be something wrong.
So there's not much.
5% of the people end up financially comfortable or independent.
Are you trying to depress us, Bob? Because that's
No, actually, I think it's quite an exciting idea, because you see, the idea behind it is that anybody can win, anyone at all. But if we start studying these statistics, I think we'll arrive at the conclusion, geez, I better start thinking for myself rather than follow everybody. Most people, they get a job, they look around, they see how everybody else is doing their work, and they start doing it the same way. They should stop and think, I wonder if any of these people know what they're doing. You know, is there a better way to do it?
But don't we have a need to fit in? I mean, we don't want to stand out. We don't want to get fired. We don't want to make waves.
Exactly. Just fall into line. You know, take a number. Be like everybody around. You know, that'd be great in the animal kingdom. But human beings aren't supposed to live that way. I think we should make a few waves. We should maybe stand out, be different. Not for the sake of being different, but because we are different. We all think different thoughts. And I believe we should start to think and build images in our mind of what we'd like to do and then set out and do it.
If you want to live a life of success, a life of complete success, happiness and fulfillment, you must find your purpose. You see, if you don't know what your purpose is, if you don't know what drives you, what inspires you, then you have no reason to improve your life. How can you improve your life if you have no reason to improve it? And if you have no reason to improve your life, that means you're okay with being average. And I know that none of you are okay with being average. Your purpose is your reason for being. Why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? What's the reason? Why do you exist? You need to find something that drives you. Something that no matter what happens, this part of you does not change. This drive in you does not change. This purpose never dies. No matter how many times life knocks you down, your purpose pulls you up every time. This is the reason I will fight for my dreams. This is the reason I will not take no for an answer. This is the reason I will do whatever it takes.
When you can't go a day without thinking about it. When you dream about it, wake up thinking about it and can't rest until you conquer it. When you don't mind sacrificing because of it. When nothing is greater than knowing you can conquer it. When you don't need the alarm clock to wake you because it's fueling every part of your soul, then you know your purpose. Your purpose is that fire. Your reason for doing what you do. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want that success so bad? What is the fuel to your fire?
Your purpose is always something that lights a fire in you. I will do this no matter what. My family is counting on me. My friends are counting on me. I am counting on me. So write down your purpose. Carry it with you everywhere. Feel it deep and promise yourself every day you will live out your purpose with zero excuses.
Your purpose, find it, and you will have no problem becoming a phenomenal success. Because purpose moves mountains. It moves mountains and opens up doors that didn't exist. It gives you the fire that you need to burn down the world of limitations. The water you need to drown doubt. Your why, your purpose, it's everything. Find it. Use it.
Life is too short to be doing anything but exactly what you want. Do exactly what you want. Be one of the rare humans that live their lives with purpose.
Why is it that we don't believe in ourselves? That as soon as things get tough in our lives, we start doubting ourselves. We start thinking that we're not gonna make it, stressing, worrying, imagining things that may go wrong in the future. We need to understand the human mind is the most powerful tool we own, but it can also be the most destructive. And we need to learn how to take control of the direction of our mind and our emotions. Your mind is going to provide you with the greatest challenges in your life because it is so powerful. So if you can conquer your mind, then you can pretty much conquer anything else around you, literally. When writing the story of your life, make sure you hold the pen. Make sure not only that you hold the pen, but you write the script from your heart. Be brave when writing your script. It's your story and there are no limits to what you can have, what you can do, or what you can be. How bad do you want it? You've got to prove it to yourself that you want it bad enough. It's got to hurt you not to get it. And that's when you're going to learn to conquer your mind. Your mind will no longer be able to say no because your inner heart and mind are aligned and now nothing can stop you. It's easy to be all positive and consistent when everything is going your way, but that's not life. That's not realistic. Are you going to be one of the very few to stand up when things are tough? When everything is going against you, will you be able to believe in what's right and what brings results to your life? That's when your character will shine. That's when your story will be born. Your story is valuable. Your story of success. You can't build a story if you stop now. If you give up, the world is full of people who gave up. The world needs hope. We all do. The world needs you to stand up, to fight through your challenging moments, to shine through the dark times, to love through the hate, and to be the difference in an indifferent world. To believe in yourself. Most people are bloated with ordinary thoughts and mindsets. They're full of average that they have no more appetite. But you have to have an appetite for extraordinary. Beyond what people are doing. Think beyond them. There will always be doubters and people below you and people trying to put you down so that they can feel higher. But you've got to stay true to yourself. Believe in your mind. Have some tunnel vision. Then one day you will have your moment. Because anything is possible if you just believe. Feed your dreams. If you can suffer through setbacks, through pain, rise up with resilience once again and again and again. One day, this world will tap you on the shoulder and say, this is your time to shine. You can have, be, and do anything you want. Just have to believe.
Many of us act as if we are going to live forever. We postpone things that we know deep down we must do. Going after our dreams, telling those we love how we really feel, taking that course, not taking that job, saying yes, saying no. We forget there are no guarantees of next year, next month, or even tomorrow. We forget even the longest of lives flash by so fast. We settle. We give up. We accept less than we know we are worth. All the time knowing how short life is. Even though we know how short life is, we barely even live while we are alive. For most people, when their heart stops beating, it will be a mere formality. The truth is, one day, it will be all over. It is one of the very few guarantees you have in life. One day, it will be over. When you start every morning with that thought in mind, your life becomes powerful. Because you can now release all fear from your life. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of anything. It is not a prescription to become reckless or careless, rather a license to go after your dream life, to stand up for what you believe in, to love more and to live more. It is the knowing that every moment you spend on this earth is part of the legacy you will leave behind. With that in mind, you can choose kindness over being right. Choose the hard but rewarding task over the easy and meaningless one. Choose to help one another instead of yourself. Choose to become the person you want to be remembered as, starting right now. Steve Jobs said death is very likely the single best invention of life. He said, remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. And he was right. He was so right. You have nothing to lose. You won't make it in the end, so live fully now. Go after your dreams and do it with passion. No stress. Full effort, but no struggle. Live this day as if your days are numbered, because they are. It is not something to fear. It is something to cherish. What if this was your last day? Would you be satisfied with your life if you went out tomorrow? Have you given your all? Have you done yourself justice?